नमो नमस्ते गुरवे महात्मने विमुक्तसंगाय सदुत्तमाय नित्याद्वयानन्दरसस्वरूपिणे भूम्ने सदा पारदयाम्बुधाम्ने नमस्ते नमस्ते विभो विश्वमूर्ते नमस्ते नमस्ते चिदानन्दमूर्ते नमस्ते नमस्ते तपोयोगगम्य नमस्ते नमस्ते श्रुतिज्ञानगम्य स्वाराज्य साम्राज्य विभूतिरेषा भवत्कृपा श्रीमहिमप्रसादात् प्राप्ता मया श्रीगुरवे महात्मने नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमस्तस्मै सदैकस्मै कस्मै चिन्महसे नमः यदेतद्विश्वरूपेण राजते गुरुराजते यदेतद्विश्वरूपेण राजते गुरुराजते. So let us chant. Would you like to chant or not? So from the beginning let us chant a little. Arjuna uvacha evam satatayuktaye bhaktāstvam paryupāsate ye chāpyaksharam tesham ke yogavittamaha. So one who is given to karma, action, remaining always connected to the Lord, he is the greater yogi, or one who is given to the contemplation of the imperishable, immortal, unchanging truth. Who is the better yogi or greater yogi? Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Veshya Mano Ye Mam Nitya Yukta Upasate Shraddhaya Parayopetaha Te me Yuktatama Mataha Ye tvaksharamanirdesyam avyaktam paryupasate sarvatra gamacintyam ca kūtasthamachalam dhruvam samniyamyendriyagramam
sanniyamyendriyagramam
sarvatra samabuddhayah
sarvatra samabuddhayah
te prapnuvanti mameva
te prapnuvanti mameva
sarvabhutahite ratah
sarvabhutahite ratah
kleshodhikatarastesham
kleshodhikatarastesham
avyaktasaktachetasam
avyaktasaktachetasam
avyakta hi gatirdukham
avyakta hi gatirdukham
dehavadbhiravapyate.
dehavadbhiravapyate.
See, his answers, if you are attentive, you will find how careful, wholesome the replies are in Bhagavad Gita. In saying that, Satataya Yukta, Arjuna asked, and they are devotees, they are Satataya Yukta. Satataya Yukta means those who are always connected to the Lord. So we have to try to understand the meaning of what is this always connected to the Lord. So naturally in this comparison he has left out those who are not always connected to the Lord. This is the most important point. Yesterday and day before I told you that doing puja for 1 hour, I am saying none of you do for more than 10 minutes. Going to the temple or doing puja or doing meditation or scriptural reading for 1 hour, and rest of the period of wakeful, say 17 hours or 16 hours, is given to all worldly actions. They are not Satataya Yukta. So let us understand that he is not comparing such devotees who are not Satataya Yukta. He is emphasizing everywhere, the whole Bhagavad Gita is based on that it is wrong for us to differentiate between spiritual and non-spiritual, religious, non-religious, or religious we need not use, spiritual, non-spiritual, and divine and worldly. Non-spiritual means worldly. That is for us, if we do meditations, studies of Shastras or puja or something, or going to the temple, that part only is spiritual or divine oriented work for us. The rest of the work is always, it is worldly. As long as this differentiation remains, you can yourself understand that 1 hour you may rise a few steps, in the 16 hours how many steps you will climb down. So are we progressing or regressing? That is why in childhood the practice has to be started, because by the time we take up after 40, 50, 60, 70, you have already... I am not wanting to dissuade you or to depress you, but let us understand the fact. If we have collected so much of worldliness, we have to act so much for removing that also. So the one thing he is saying, that people generally have the idea that all the activities are hindrance. And by leaving the activity, as Arjuna is saying here, repeatedly he is saying, leaving the activity, if we go to the forest or do meditation and all, then we are seekers and it will be gainful. He is saying no. Whether you can be, your sadhana can be more fruitful in secluded, exclusive, we call it exclusive jnana nishtha, that means exclusive dedication to knowledge, sitting aside, leaving all work, nothing he will do. Whether that will be beneficial for you, or working with a new attitude which we call buddhi yoga in Bhagavad Gita, or yoga attitude, that will be more beneficial. It depends on you. It depends on the fitness of the sadhaka. So he has said karmani eva adhikarahate. Here it is, adhikara is not right. Everywhere we translate as right, it is not so. Adhikara in spiritual literature is always used at the fitness, deservingness. There are certain criteria before we start the book there that adhikara tattva is one of the most important. Who is fit to read this book? Who is fit to pursue this? They define before going ahead. So he is saying, although I have said that the exclusive jnana-nishtha is great, knowing the Atma by contemplation and nididhyasana and all, that is great, but it is for only few people who do not have any desires, worldly desires or so. For the others, the safer and more fruitful path is to transform your actions into yoga. So it depends on your fitness. And Arjuna, because you have always been concentrating on fight, on war, particularly last 13 years or 14 years, you have been only thinking about how to win over Duryodhana or kill them. For you, if you go and meditate or sit in the forest and try to meditate, your mind will not be given to the truth. You will be haunted by all war thoughts and desires. So, although he is saying that you are fit for activity, he is not saying by doing the activity you are lesser fortunate. He is saying it will take you to the same goal. In the 3rd chapter he is saying both will take you to the same goal. But this is, you are fit for this, so you should take to this. How? That you are now considering all the activities for your personal gain. Desireful, that I have to win the kingdom, I will become the king, I will enjoy the kingdom, all those things. That you have to replace with the yoga attitude that whatever you are doing, it is not for any personal gain at all. Whatever is needed for the society to survive and to improve and to have an auspicious aim, you will do that. Not thinking of your personal gain. So, in that case, if you think that if you only half an hour you will do the practice and rest of the hours you will not do, you will do only in worldly way. Worldly way means by enhancing the desires and petting the desires, following the desires, then you will not progress. You have to understand something called yoga buddhi, he has said there. What is that yoga buddhi? That is the intelligence has to be anchored in our real identity. Everybody, every one of us is that Atma, which is the imperishable, unaffected, untainted Atma we are. But because of our mind and intelligence, they are tainted, they are impure. We are not able to conceive of that, our own real identity. Everybody is immortal. The Atma is not different. It is the same Atma which is manifesting with the different body-mind complex and the whole universe. So, in the deepest level of our personality, we are all that immortal, imperishable, pure self. Why are we not able to see it? Because our mind and intelligence are clouded with desires and ragadvesha, as we have been discussing constantly. We cling to what we like and we hate or be intolerant about what we dislike. We are partial to me and mine, and we are partial to me and mine with respect to others. So this partial vision, this oriented likes and dislikes oriented vision, that does not allow us to see the truth, having a true vision. It is, the example taken is, suppose there is sun, but there is a cloud, you are not able to see the sun. Now by wind the cloud is removed. You see the sun clearly. Have you created the sun? Was it not there already? It is there always. You are not able to see because of the cloud. So by the study of Shastras or pursuit of spirituality or knowledge pursuit or karma yoga pursuit or bhakti yoga pursuit or whatever we do in the name of spirituality, we are trying to remove that cloud from our mind and intelligence. When the cloud is removed, we have a clear vision of the sun, which is our own identity. We have not created that. We are already that. Because our mind is clouded, we are not able to see it. So actually this knowledge, it doesn't do anything. It only removes the ignorance which is clouding our mind and intelligence. When the knowledge removes the ignorance, then the mind and intelligence becomes clear. It sees the truth. That is why we don't say that we have manufactured the Atma or anything. Atma we are. But we are not able to see. Generally, we will say that it is, in the end of Bhagavad Gita, you will find Nashto Moha Smritir Labdha. The last Arjuna is saying, at the end of the Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, what is the shloka number? Nashto Moha Smritir Labdha. It is 73rd verse of 18th chapter. He says, Nashto moha smritir labdha tat prasadat mayachyuta sthitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. O Krishna, by listening to your words, what has happened? Many things happened. Gata sandeha, that means whatever doubts were there, where are the doubts? In the intelligence. It will always doubt this is true or that is true. If this is true, other is not true, then why it is appearing like this? All these are intelligence's questions, doubts. Gata sandeha means all the doubts are removed. Sthito asmi, sthitaha asmi. I have regained my stability, self-seatedness. I always use the word self-seatedness, self-seatedness. By a simple, small things happening around us, we lose our self-seatedness. Somebody told something which is not true, we immediately get agitated about it. If some food is not proper, we get agitated. If the house is, something is wrong, we get agitated. If the employees do not behave according to what we want, we get agitated. If the boss doesn't support me, we get agitated. Everything in the world, little things, always we are getting agitated, as if God has sent us to become agitated alone. So this self-seatedness is very important. I have given so many examples, particularly of Buddha Dev and all that. I will not say again, then the whole time will go. But I have quoted so many times. So Gata Sandeha, doubt-free, Sthitaha Asmi means I have become self-seated. And the first, what he said, is most important. Nashto Moha Smritir Labdha. Whatever delusion we had, moha means delusion. Nashto moha means all the delusions have gone. That I will win the war and then I will become the king, then it will be a very happy life. For no king ever life is happy. It's the most difficult life for any powerful person, if he is a good king particularly. So, all these are delusion. Arjuna was saying that we are going to do the greatest sin to win over the kingdom and have the sukha of kingdom, have the kingship. I am going to kill my own beloved grandfather and the most respected teacher. The first moha is you are thinking that you will become happy by becoming first of all, whether you will win or not, we don't know, you may die in the war also. You are assuming you are winning and you are sitting on the kingdom and then you are happy. Even if you win and sit on the kingdom, you are not going to be happy. So these are all delusions. Then you are thinking that I have to kill my great grandfather because of some desire in me, gainful orientation, that I want to gain something, for that I am killing. This is another delusion. I have never asked you to fight this war because of your gain. If your grandfather, because your grandfather is standing in the opposite side, which is a corrupt side, but because he is their employee, he cannot come away. That he feels to be lack of integrity. Suppose our military, if our country wrongly attacks somebody, the military people will have to do it. They cannot come away. Often the country attacks wrong. All over the world it is happening always. So if those who are fighting the war, they may have a different opinion about it. But because they are employed by the government, they are that country's force, they cannot behave differently. You know that just after the independence, when the India-Pakistan war was there, it was a very, very difficult fight. Because many of the generals who had been together during the British rule, they got divided into one part went to Pakistan, one part went to India. And actually they had to fight their friends, own friends there. So, what I was saying? Arjuna's delusion was there also. He was fighting because Bhishma and Drona are standing in the opposite side, which they are supposed to try to subdue or defeat. He has to fight. Whoever is standing on that side, he has to fight. So that is the nashto moha. Then smritir labdha. For this word only I came to this shloka. That I have got back my memory. This getting back to the real identity, discovering our real identity, it is not created anything. We had lost the memory of it. Now, when we know who am I, that is the getting back the memory. It is like that. It is not that you have discovered something great and you are very excited about it. I have created the Atma. No. You have got back the memory that I was unnecessarily moving around, running around, thinking that I am small, body, mind, limited personality. I have regained my memory that nothing happens to me if anything goes from the world, even if the whole ocean gets dried one day, a knower will not be surprised or not be affected at all. Nothing will happen because he identifies himself with the universal consciousness. So that is the memory he got back. I was comparing between the two sadhanas. That is, one is given to the satata yukta. That was our point. That always connected. Always connected means there when the buddhi is connected to this real identity. That is called the buddhi yoga. There I was. From there I came to this. That is, in the 10th chapter he said, 10th chapter, 10th verse, there is a very good shloka. Again I will forget, then you should remind me what I am doing. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yenamam upayanti te. 10th chapter, 10th verse. Tesham satata yuktanam. Those who are by devotion, because of that devotion they were always connected. That means they are not in the piecemeal sadhak. Satata yukta means whatever they are doing offering it to Lord also. That much of attainment is there. Throughout the day it is their sadhana. Their sadhana is not 1 hour sadhana and rest of it worldly. Throughout the day, all the wakeful hours are sadhana for him. Evam satata tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. Those who are satata yukta and worshipping me lovingly, priti. It is not out of fear that if I don't do this, God is going to punish me. Nothing of that sort. They have developed, otherwise without the priti we will never be able to become satata yukta. When we develop love for the Supreme, that He is all, from Him the whole universe has come, and more we contemplate on that dimension, we start becoming fond of Him. So when we fondly worship, those who fondly worship, dadami buddhi yogam tam. To them I give buddhi yoga. Which earlier itself he said, Arjuna, I will give you buddhi yoga. That means in the devotional process, these are very, very important. I don't know how much I can clarify, but I am trying. That even in the devotion, when you attain a satata yukta state, that is, you are so fond of Lord that you cannot forget Lord, then he gives the buddhi yoga. That means then the vichara comes. Vichara means understanding who is Lord, what is devotion, how can I enhance devotion, and which he suggested to Arjuna to fight the war with the buddhi yoga. Buddhi yoga means to keep the intelligence constantly anchored in viveka buddhi. That is the buddhi yoga. Our intelligence is always slave to the world, connected to vishaya buddhi, we say, connected to the worldly gains and losses. Throughout the day we are thinking that. That same buddhi is not undergoing change. Only it is undergoing the purification. Same buddhi has to remain constantly anchored in the true identity. Then we call it viveka buddhi, not vishaya buddhi then. So such an anchored buddhi, that is the called buddhi yoga, keeping the intelligence constantly in the truth, fixed in the truth. So whenever we are doing something, if our mind becomes selfish, gain-oriented, greedy, etc., the buddhi will tell you this is not the way. You are the universal identity. You have to become universal in your behavior. Don't look for self-orientation, gain and all that. So he says, with that buddhi yoga, they attain me. So you can see how chapter after chapter, if you read, you will find that he is defining one thing, then taking it to a higher level, and finally it is all the same sadhana. That there is no difference between bhakti and jnana and karma, all are same. When you go to that level, it becomes like that. So even a satata yukta bhakta, a devotee who is always thinking of the Lord also, he may think of the Lord with lot of delusion. There will be lot of delusion. He will be fixed to certain things. In giving food to the Lord, oh no, he is not taking. One day the son was sent, the father was not there, so the son was sent for puja. And father, when he comes back, he finds that the offering is not there. So the son is saying that Lord has taken, but the father doesn't have the faith, so he says, you have taken. The son is condemned that you have taken the prasada, not giving it to the Lord. But son says, no, it has been taken by Krishna. He is directly seeing that. But the father, doing puja for so many yugas, years, he doesn't believe that the Lord has taken the food. There's a very good story. Ma has narrated it in one of the satsangs. It must be there in YouTube, no? Very good story. In the interpretation of Srimad Bhagavatam it is there. It is not part of Srimad Bhagavatam, but interpretation it is there. So, the devotion also has to be cultured, refined, purified by applying our intelligence, applying our wisdom, applying the viveka buddhi. This is his way. Now let us get back to the... After he said that klesho adhikatarastesham abhyaktasakta chetasam, those who are pursuing the contemplation on the imperishable, which cannot be seen anything by the sense organs, so naturally it is a little abstract. So that way it is kleshaha adhikatara. It's a little difficult. But you should notice here also he has used the comparative term here, adhikatara. He is not dissuading anybody from that. And for whom? Dehavadbhihi. Because we are in the body and throughout the day we are serving our body, the mind will normally remain fixed to the body and body-related things. So anything abstract, you will find even the scientific truth about the abstraction about the material world, people are not able to understand. When we were first changing over from Newtonian physics to Einsteinian physics, it was very difficult to imagine because we were given to that molecule also is a particle like this. That is, you just go on making it smaller and smaller, but it remains like as we are seeing a ball. That is even the demonstrations were like that in physics. That a small molecule also will behave like ball. So when that complete change of the concept is necessary, that they are not like any of the matter we are seeing, absolutely different. It is very difficult for many people to conceive of. So they generally hate physics. The other day also somebody was saying. They will take to something else because the abstraction becomes difficult. In mathematics, the moment solid geometry is brought, no student will, if solid geometry 3 questions are there and you can avoid that by answer, they can answer 100% by avoiding that, they will avoid. They will never attempt solid geometry. Why? Because we are given to two-dimensional geometry drawing on the paper and we understand that. The moment we have to think of it's a pyramid and what will happen, how the angles are coming, what is the total angle, nobody is able to imagine that. The teacher they used to use a shalgam, what is shalgam in English? The sort of a potato like turnip, T-U-R-N-I-P. Turnip, he used to bring a turnip in our school and cut it into the solid shapes and measure the angle and show that in three-dimensional it will not be like two-dimensional. How is the change? So it is difficult. The moment the abstraction comes, it is difficult. As I was saying, that the bulbs are operating, we all know that, it is electricity. The moment they go off, electricity has gone, the supply has gone. Has anybody seen the electricity? What is that electricity? Here it is manifesting as light, here it is manifesting as motion, here it is manifesting as sound. What is this electricity? It can become sound, it can become light, So what is this kind of electricity? Nobody thinks about it. We have never seen electricity. It is only an inference because the lights are glowing and all, we are saying that there is electricity. So, that is the kleshaha adhikatarastesham. Those who are given to the contemplation of the immortal, imperishable self, which is not available anywhere in the objective world, the contemplation becomes difficult. That's all. And why? Because of the dehavadbhihi, remaining fixed, clinging to our body-oriented likes and dislikes, wants, greed, everything. Mostly we are living body-oriented life. Only when the body is very comfortable, I have nothing to do, we will read the Shastras. The moment the body is not comfortable, go and lie on the bed. Shastras will be away. So, saying that, he slowly takes the mind to higher and higher level of devotion. Before coming to the next section, which we will not cover, from the shloka number 13 onward, in the 12th chapter, from 13 onward it is called Bhakta Lakshanas. Adveshta sarva bhutanam maitrah karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankaraha samadukha sukhakshami. Here 33 qualities, you can count, I may be wrong. 33 qualities have been enumerated here. Shloka 13th to 19th, na? 19th or 20th. 33 qualities have been enumerated. They are called Bhakta Lakshanas. What is that? A real devotee, a true devotee should exhibit these characteristics. The characteristics of a devotee. Now, this is the characteristic of Bhagavad Gita, that after a few chapters he comes back to these qualities. The first he enumerated in the second chapter when Arjuna asked that, Krishna, you have explained the truth of the Atma, the philosophy of the Atma and Brahman and the delusion very well. But I would like to know this truth. Who is going to realize? A human being? Is it not? This truth is meant for human being. I would like to know what happens to a person when he realizes this truth. Such an intelligent question. Only then I can know that what is the benefit of it in life. And how will you know who knows and does not know? We cannot judge it also. Actually, these lakshanas are not for judging other people. Suppose we have learned the lakshanas, then you will say that, oh, you are not a devotee because you don't have this lakshana. She is not a devotee because she doesn't have the 5 of it. It is not for that, it is for looking into our own self. That we should look at ourselves and find out how many of them I have got, to what percentage, 5% or 25%. I am not saying more than that. So, these are 33 qualities they have given, which represents a true devotee. There it was The question was, Trita prajnasya ka bhasha samadhisthasya keshava sthitadhi kim prabhasheta kim asita brajeta kim. That is, those are called sthita prajna lakshanaha. That is the characteristics of a sthita prajna. There he asked that you said that who has attained this stable-mindedness, what are the characteristics? So Arjuna himself specified. One is that samadhisthasya sthita prajnasya ka bhasha. Bhasha means definition. What is the definition of a person who is a sthita prajna and in nirvikalpa samadhi or in samadhi? Now, seeing from outside you will not know. How will you know whether he is inside, what he is thinking? He might be thinking of something very bad also, you don't know. So whether he is a sthita prajna or not, what is inside him, that the person who is in samadhi will have to know that I am in samadhi later on. And the second line is sthitadhi kim prabhasheta kim asita brajeta kim. How does a sthitadhi speak? How does he go around? How does he sit? That means it's not figurative, it means that how does he act? The first line is he is quietly sitting in samadhi. What is the internal state of him? And the second line is when he is coming out of the samadhi, he is behaving interacting in the world. What are the interactive qualities, characteristics of such a person? So there he enumerated quite a few, I don't remember how many, maybe 18 qualities or 20 qualities. Then in each chapter it comes like that. Gunatita lakshanas are there. One who has transcended the bondage of all the created by the three gunas, what are the characteristics? So that we know that I have transcended that. Similarly, jnana lakshanas are there in 13th chapter. What are the characteristics of a knower? It is not just I have mugged up the Upanishads and I can give very good lectures on the truth, so I am a knower. No. Unless you have those 24 qualities enumerated there, it is not accepted as a knower. So it's a very, very practical, pragmatic way of looking at spirituality, and everything is depending on how you are behaving in the world. Finally, it translates into your interactions in the world, and how you remain unaffected by anything you do in the world. So, that is step by step built up. Now come to Shloka 6. Ye tu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matparaha ananyenaiva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate. He says, Yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya. Sarvani karmani means all the activities, whatever, whether it is getting up in the morning, going to the toilet, cooking, or working in the office, walking on the road, or the last most important is what he is thinking. All we are talking about whenever we say about karma means we think of the external activities. The real activity is taking place here. The real silence is in the mind. If you practice maunam for 7 days also, it is not maunam in spirituality. I have seen maunam, one grand old lady, she will go on writing chits. That is, she has to manage the workers. So she is under maunam. And constantly throughout the day we have to supply her chits and she will go on writing the chits. And sometimes she has to scold or that also will be in the chit. We would sometimes humorously draw a picture there, show a face which is very angry or pleasing or so. As you use the emoji, those days computer was not there, mobile was not there. We would put on the paper so that the worker also knows that she is annoyed. So, sarvani karmani means everything, not only external karma, internal also, but here basically they are meaning the external perhaps. Mai sanyasya matparaha. Mai Sannyasya means samyak nyasya. That means nyasa means tyaga, means renunciation, offering, sacrificing. Mai sannyasa means offered to me, renounced in me, living to me. Very well. Samyak nyasya means very well given away to me. Now, when will the karma be given to the Lord? Lord doesn't need anything. So which karma you are? We think that it means I am doing puja, so I am offering to the Lord. Actually, Lord is nowhere there. It is puja is our karma. How will you offer to Lord? While offering the Naivedya also we are thinking today food I am going to take, the food is good or bad. To whom it is offered? So this offering has to be made with the mind. The karma cannot be offered. In Bhagavad Gita particularly it is so powerful that in Mahabharata Yuddha, even killing one's most beloved grandfather was offered to the Lord. It's the karma was killing Bhishma. That also was offered to the Lord. And it has to be done in what manner? He killed the person. He shot arrows to the person. How can you offer to the Lord? It has to be done with the mind and buddhi, both. Any offering, final truthful offering has to be done with the mind and buddhi. Otherwise you cannot offer. And when you can offer? Only when you are not doing it motivated by your own desire. This is the thumb rule you have to apply it everywhere. All the consequences, all the practices Bhagavad Gita has mentioned, it will be fulfilled when we do not motivated by the desire, but whatever to be done we do. It is the removal of the desire is the entire spirituality. That is why in the Upanishads, after speaking about Atma, Brahman, this, that and all, at the end they come to the truth. Yada sarve pramuchyante kamayasya hridishritaha athamatyo amrito bhavati atra brahma samashnute. Kaṭhopaniṣad. Absolutely towards the end. Yada sarve pramuchyante kamayasya hridishritaha Hridi ashritaha yasya kamaha sarve kamaha pramuchyante. When the desires seated deep inside the heart, all the desires seated are completely removed. Pramuchyate, pramuchyante. Athamatyo amrito bhavati. Then the mortal man, matyaha. In Upanishad you will see that we are not called Manushya and all. Regularly they will say Matyaha, Martya. Why? They remind us that you are a mortal. Your body is going to fall. Otherwise we don't remember. We go on fighting with the property and all. The breath is going. Maybe next moment I am going to die. Still our fight is going on. No, I cannot leave him. You go now. The child has to go to the court and see that the father's brother does not get the property. That means we don't remember. There is a story of a frog that the snake is eating the frog. So half of the frog is inside the snake's mouth and the frog is catching a fly. It's true. We are like that. Half of has gone into the mrityu. And with the whatever is remaining, we are trying to catch flies. So our Upanishads refer to us as Matyaha, we are mortal. So he says, Athamatyo amrito bhavati. That mortal man becomes immortal. Atra Brahma samashnute. Here itself in this world, in this body, he attains Brahman. Not after the body falls, I will not be born again and all that. No, Punarjanma. Here itself, the mortal man attains immortality. Atra Brahma samashnute. Very well he attains the Brahman. Samyak ashnute. When? Yada sarve pramuchyante kamayasya hridishritaha. The hidi ashritaha kamaha yada pramuchyante. When all the desires are... Now, why? Because when the desires are not there, whatever you are doing throughout the day, it is not desire motivated. You are doing compelled by Prakriti. Whatever the nature is, you are a product of nature. And the forces working in you also through nature. And you are not going to attach your ego that I did this, I did that, I have to do this, I have to do that. Nothing, no Kartribhava. I have to enjoy this, I have to enjoy that. Nothing is there. You become like the Ishvaras, the Tumi Yantra, Ami Yantri. That is, Tumi Yantri, Ami Yantra. I am the instrument of Lord. That feeling of the instrument will come then. As we are seeing the whole world moving, we will see our body also is moving by Prakriti, and I am only an observer to that. Then only all these things will be fulfilled. Everywhere it is like that. In Mundakopanishad also towards the end it is saying, Vidyate hridaya granthihi chidyante sarva samshayaha kshiyante chasya karmani tasmin drishte paravare. He says, Tasmin drishte paravare. When he finds when he discovers, when he sees the truth, what is the truth? Call him Atma, Brahman or consciousness, whatever. The ultimate one transcendental truth. When he sees it in para as well as avara, that means not only in meditation. He sees out of the meditation also. Not only in the high, only in the guru, but in the most hated criminal also. He is not missing it anywhere. He is finding it in the dog as well as the so-called image of God. Everywhere. Tasmin drishte paravare. Para means supreme as well as avara means ordinary, below. When that truth is seen in everything, everywhere, then what happens? Three are the benefits. Vidyate hridaya granthihi. The knots of the heart get broken. What are the knots? I am this, I am that, I have to do this, I have to do that. There are lot of knots we have created inside, which is constricting our mind, constricting our intelligence, constricting our emotions also. Always, even if a person we do not like, he has done a very good work, we are not able to appreciate. Because I don't like him, is it not? If somebody, suppose Swamiji appreciates somebody and I don't like that person, we will find out, Swamiji, that is true, he did it, but he did this also the other day, that's some other thing. Our mind is so constricted that we cannot even appreciate people. So miserly we are. We think miserliness is only about money. No. There is lot more of miserliness in our mind. That is why we are not able to accept people as they are. Vidyate hridaya granthi, all the constricted knots of the heart, smallness in the heart, they get completely untied. Vidyate hridaya granthi, what is it? Chidyante sarva samshayaha. Just now he said gata sandeha. I read out from the last verse. Arjuna is saying, nashto moha, gata sandeha. Gata sandeha means doubts have all gone. So, chidyante sarva samshayaha. Whatever doubts are there in the intelligence, they are all gone. The first one is about the emotional part of our being. Hridaya granthi is the emotional knots, that I am small, I cannot behave properly. These are all constrictions in the emotional part of our being. The second is the intelligential part of our being. The intelligence is having lot of doubts. How can this happen? How can that happen? How can the transcendental be my identity? And the third one is kshiyante cha asya karmani. Kshiyante cha asya karmani. He has all the karmas get completely dissolved for him. Why? Because that Kartri Bhoktri Bhava is not there, the ego is not there. So he no longer repents for his bad work he has done, he no longer boasts for the good work he has done, he no longer thinks that I have to do this, I have to do that. Nothing. Whatever comes, he does. So, kshiyante chasya karmani means that causality has gone. I am related to all, whatever I am doing in the life and all, those are not there. Externally causality will be there. Internal causality is not there anymore. He is free like the sky, like the space. Whatever comes to be done, he does, and that's all. He doesn't think this way, that way. He doesn't have to think. He is in tune with the fundamental law of nature, with the fundamental tune of nature. So whatever nature gets done by him, he does. He is not responsible for anything at all. So this is what in Mundakopanishad it says, when one sees the truth in para as well as avara, means everywhere. Because without that we cannot have any experience. You think about it, whatever experience in dream, in wakefulness, is not the I always there? Can you have, even if you think of your past 100 lives back, some janma, before you experience it, that I has to be there. Without I, then there cannot be any experience at all. Is it not? In all experience, the I is a must, the consciousness is must. But because our focus is on what we are experiencing, we are missing that consciousness part of it. So it is a scientific truth also. Without that, no experience can be had. That is the finding him in everywhere, paravare. In Kenopanishad it says, pratibodha viditam matam amritatvam hi vindate. Kenopanishad says, all are different ways of looking at the same thing. Pratibodha viditam matam amritatvam hi vindate. When we see the truth in every perception, pratibodha. Just now I said, na, we have that without that I, there cannot be any experience. So in every experience, who is experiencing, that is called the bodha, that is the consciousness. So he is there in each and every experience. So we have to know that it is so. When the mic I am seeing, I have to know that the mic is appearing in the consciousness. When I am seeing somebody criminal also, we have to know that it is in that consciousness the criminal is appearing. So when he sees in pratibodha, in every perception, then he becomes immortal. Amritatvam hi bindate. Why? Because then he is seeing the consciousness which doesn't have birth, doesn't have death, which is immortal. So every perception, although the perceived object has birth and death, but the perception in his case is always over the non-changing substratum, consciousness. So he knows only immortality. So, yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matparaha. Matparaha, who thinking me to be the supreme, giving me the supreme position, yesterday as we discussed in detail. All actions, whatever it is, sarvani karmani, mai sanyasa, he offers it to me, give it to me. That means he does not do out of his own desire. He doesn't do any more desire-motivated activity. Even if he eats also, it is for his body, but he doesn't have any gainful there. The body wants food, he gives it the food. Ananyenaiva yogena. His yoga with me, yoga means his connection with the real identity, our within, the inmost personality, is ananya, na anya. That means unswerving. It never gets lost. Satatāya yukta is same. Mam dhyayanta upasate. He, in his upasana, suddenly Krishna has added dhyayanta, the meditation. Because if he is given to this kind of vichara, automatically it will lead him to dhyana. Because constantly his mind is in the same, it is one-pointed. In the one-pointed mind, you don't have to do meditation. Meditation will dawn by itself. In your upasana, because constantly throughout the day you are doing, always thinking of the Lord only. Whatever you are doing there, you are not losing the anchorage there. So when you sit, automatically your mind goes into meditation. Tesham aham samuddharta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami nachirat partha maya veshita chetasam. Such people who are completely induced with my thought, you can say, save from the ocean of death. Actually, death here is in the general sense. Everywhere we are surrounded by death because we are living in the causal world, cause and effect chain. Whenever any effect is produced, the cause is undergoing death and the effect is getting burned. Is it not? If you burn the book, the ash will be burned and the book will die. In our body, every moment, so many cells are dying and so many cells are getting burned. But as a whole, we don't feel that, we don't know that. But we are surrounded with everything in this universe is undergoing cause and effect chain. So in that chain, every moment death is there, every moment birth also is there. So to save one from the mrityu samsara, the ocean of death, means actually he lives in the non-causal, unchanging, imperishable truth always. Mayeva mana adhatsva, mayi buddhim niveshaya, nivasishyasi mayeva ata urdhvam na samshayaha. Oh, I have not chanted this, na? Mayeva mana adhatsva,
मय्येव मन आधत्स्व
मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय
मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय
निवसिष्यसि मय्येव
निवसिष्यसि मय्येव
अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः
अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः.
He said that completely inducing mind in me and the buddhi also in me. See, the whole, now from karma, the pursuit has come to mind and buddhi. It will always be. The real pursuit is with the mind and buddhi. Whatever we do outside is not so important. Whatever is in the mind is important. And in spirituality, nothing about outside. It is all the sadhana to do with inside. The religion to spirituality, the shift takes place when the God from outside gets into my own identity. And then it is all to how to realize that God which I am. So until our mind, my intelligence is not having that purity and the dimension of the God, I will not be able to experience God. Whatever my mind can go to the dimension, that much of godliness we can understand. Even if somebody with the godliness stands before you, you will understand only whatever your mind and buddhi has attained. Beyond that, you will hear something, you will conclude something, but you cannot experience. To experience a saint, a person has to be saintly. Without that, he will not know what his mind is. To experience a saintly mind, unless our mind is saintly, I will not be able to understand another saint's mind. Is it not? So it has come to mind and buddhi. Here he has clearly mentioned. Previously he said, Sarvani karmani mai sanyasa. Now how will you do? Unless the mind and buddhi are completely immersed in me, you will not be able to do. So he has come down to that. And for him, whatever will finally lift him to the ultimate state, there is no doubt about it, he will go. Then he comes to another set of verses. This I will read and explain. Atha chittam samadhatum na shaknoshi mayi sthiram Abhyāsa yogena tato māmiccāptum dhananjaya abhyāsepya samarthosi
अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि
मत्कर्म परमो भव
मत्कर्म परमो भव
मदर्थमपि कर्माणि
मदर्थमपि कर्माणि
कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि
कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि
अथैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि
अथैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि
कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः
कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः
सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं
सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं
ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्
ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्
श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात्
श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात्
ज्ञानाध्यानं विशिष्यते
ज्ञानाध्यानं विशिष्यते
ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागः
ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागः
त्यागात् शान्तिरनन्तरम्
त्यागात् शान्तिरनन्तरम्.
Now he has said that you think about me, you keep your mind, buddhi completely immersed in me, and then I will relieve you from everything. Now he says that, okay, if you cannot do, that is the problem with all of us. If you cannot do, I will give you a simpler method. If you cannot do that also, I will give you a still simpler method. If you cannot do that also, I will give you another simpler method. That is what he has been telling in the 4-5 shlokas. But suppose you are a serious disciple, sincere seeker, then you should say that, why should I go to the simple one? I will do the first one. Should you not say? Just because one after another, if you cannot do your last one, then immediately you will hold on to the last one. Oh, this also can be done, so I will do that. That means you will not do that also. That is the truth. It's absolutely true. Why should you go for the last one? Because you don't want to do. You don't want the benefit of it. So he says that atha chittam samadhatum na shaknoshi mai sthiram. If you cannot stabilize your mind and intelligence in me, then Abhyāsa Yogena tato māmichhāptam dhananjaya. Then you try to attain me through Abhyāsa Yoga. What is Abhyāsa Yoga? Various abhyasas are there. You go to the temple is an abhyasa, you do some chanting is an abhyasa, you do puja or some meditation also can be, not real meditation. Here real meditation will come later. So various simple practices, regular practices are there. You can take to that also, because any simple practice also will finally, actually it is better than not doing anything. So one day it will be something else you will have, which will take you to the higher class, then to further higher class, like that. Then in the next one he says, Abhyāsepi asamarthosi. If you cannot take to the Abhyāsa Yoga, that is regular practice of something. Even getting up regularly at 4 o'clock in the morning is an Abhyāsa. Why don't you do it? It doesn't take too much of it. Only we have to go to sleep by 11 o'clock latest. Mat karma paramo bhava. You consider that my work is the supreme work. That means if you are not given to regular work, then whatever you do, you consider that is my work and my work is the supreme. Thinking that you do. Madarthamapi karmani kurvan siddhim avapsasi. If you do it for my sake, whatever you are doing, do it for my sake, then also you will get finally siddhi. Means you will progress, then you will go to the next step and all. Athaitadapyashaktosi. Even that you are not able to do. Kartum mad yogamāśritaha. You take to my yoga. Again, yoga also, what is the meaning of the yoga? You have to see. That there are so many yogas available. Sarva karma phalatyagam tatah kuru yada atmaman. Then you take to the sarva karma phalatyaga, that whatever you are doing, you Don't get cling to the phala. Now here also lot of buddhi yoga is necessary. What is this phalatyaga? Bhagavad Gita doesn't speak about renunciation of the fruit in the objective sense, because there is no meaning. In the objective level, whatever you do, it will have its result. And it is not the last point of the result. Everything, when you are eating, every morsel you put, your hunger is getting that much satiated. It is not only when you have finished your food that the food has produced result. It is producing on the way also. When you are coming here, every step you take towards SIRD, you are coming closer to SIRD, finally it becomes like this. Actually the question is coming because people used to do yaga, yajna thinking that something will happen in the next life. That phala is detached from the present karma. That you do a Ashtameda yaga now, in the next life you will be going to the heaven or this heaven or that heaven. Or do Vishwajit yaga now, then you will go to that heaven. So the karma and the phala are delinked there. Do you understand the difference? In objective level, karma and phala are not delinked. Even if the last phala doesn't come, suppose in your study, the result is passing the exam. But every moment you are studying and getting prepared for the exam, that result is being created. Finally, when you write also, it is not only the day the result is out is your ultimate phala. The fruit it's a constant manifestation of it. When you are making anything also, suppose you are putting up a factory for making car, that right from the beginning, whatever you are doing, it is proceeding towards that. And after the car is produced, you are not going to throw away the car that Bhagavad Gita Krishna has asked me to renounce the phala, so I don't want the car. It is not like that. Bhagavad Gita has nothing to say about the objective result. It is to do with the internal result. In 18th chapter it is there, Ishtam, Anishtam, Mishram cha Trividha Karmana Phalam. 3 kinds of result is there. That means whatever is favorable to me, I want that result. If it happens, I will be happy. If the opposite happens, I will be unhappy. If something, a mixture takes place, it will be the mixture of two. Ishtam, Anishtam, Mishram cha. All these are internal result. That means in doing anything, we have something in our mind. What is that? Expectation of, say you are working in the factory. What is the expectation? I will get money. That is the result of your work. Then what will happen if you get money? You will be happy. Or you will say that I will give it to our family, my family will be well. If your family lives well, what will happen? They will be happy. If they are happy, what will happen? If they are happy, I will be happy. So any karma, if you go on doing, the last result is, I will be happy. But we are never happy. So we should understand, by doing anything, you will never be happy. So we are not doing to become happy. That is the realization, that is the truth there. You do because it has to be done, but never cling that happiness to that. Happiness is right within. It can always be there, it will always ooze forth. If you keep away that desire, you will always be happy. We don't get anything. That if it is so, then the richest person would have been happy. Or the most famous person would have been happy. In the whole world, in the whole time frame, have you seen that the richest person, Rockefeller and all, were happy? It's never so. Other more unhappy there, because they have greater burden. So the result is that I will become happy is the result, which you have to keep away. You are doing the work. It is not that the objective result you are throwing away or you are not in mind. Then no work will be done. If you are eating, that is with the objective result of satiating your hunger or having some taste or so. Unless that is in your mind, you will not eat food, you will take something else. Anything we do is always with something objective result in mind. Bhagavad Gita doesn't say anything about that. Shankaracharya says, Prayoyanam anudyasya mandopina pravartate. Even a dull person, a dance, will not do anything unless there is a need for it, prayojanam. He knows by doing this, something will happen, then only he does it. So if there is no result, where is the question of doing any karma? So the objective level, they are not, Bhagavad Gita is not speaking about any objective result. Objective result will follow the karma, according to whatever we are doing. If you repair the car should get repaired. After repairing it, will you say that I did not want it to be repaired or I don't want the car? But you thought that by repairing the car, now I will be happily driving and all. That may not happen. After repairing, you may say that you have spoiled the car more and now the mechanic is also not agreeing to take it back, take it for repair. That can happen. So that happiness part you have to delink. You have to do every moment what you want to do. And in that case, what will happen is that everything you will do much better. Because it is our anxiety that I will not get the favorable result. Our anxiety about the final result, that does not allow us to focus fully on the work. If you can keep that out, that I will become a multimillionaire by producing this material or so, then you will be able to do the work much better. Whatever is needed for the society, whatever I want to do it much better, consult others, do it very well. The things also will be, naturally will be better done. So the karma phala tyaga is doing everything not with the desire for becoming happy, but doing everything because it has to be done. Then it becomes given to the offer to the God. Then only that Mai Sannyasa takes place. When we don't do out of desire, then it becomes offered to the God, Lord. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyāsāt. That knowing about God, about Atma and all from the Shastras and all, that is better than Abhyāsa. That is, Abhyāsa means achara. We are given to various acharas, this has to be done, that has to be done, then put the Ganesha with the haldi powder and all these things we do. These are all acharas, and before doing you have to do this nyasa, that nyasa, offer to yourself, your various parts of the body and all. These are all acharas. So he is saying these are all abhyasa. From such abhyasa achara, it is better to try to know what is happening in the practices, pursuits, to know about what is the truth, etc. That is not the realization, you have not experienced, but you have got the theoretical knowledge, at least you have understood with your intelligence and mind, what are the things we are doing, what is the purpose behind it, how do I approach God, all those things. That is the normal jnana. So he says, Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat. From achara, this jnana is better. And the moment you take to jnana, it is partly taking to vichara also. Vichara means analysis. The discriminating between truth and untruth. So that will take you to the final goal. So it is definitely better than just doing some achara, practicing in a regular manner, just doing it without understanding anything. Jnana dhyanam vishishyate. From this theoretical knowledge of understanding, meditating and trying to making an attempt to experience the truth is definitely better. Because that is an experiential knowledge you will get from dhyana, which is much better than the theoretical knowledge. Dhyanat karma phalatyaga. Actually, the karma phalatyaga takes place through dhyana. That when you come to know that the source of joy is right within, when you start meditating, the first discovery is you get flooded with bliss, which we call bliss because it is much, much different from all other. It is called akritrimanandaha. Akritrimananda. Generally our anandaha are all kritrima. Kritrima means artificial. You need an object to get some joy. Is it not? Anything. You need a person to get the joy. You need some food to get the joy. You need something else, object to get the joy. Everywhere our joy is depending on, you need to go to some place to see the scenery to get the joy. actually the joy is coming from within, not from anywhere, whatever you are thinking. Many examples I have given. Suppose you are seeing a beautiful ocean, you have gone. So happy, you are getting so much of joy from the vastness of the scenery and all. Suddenly you get the news that you have been sacked in the office. The mind collapses. The sea, ocean, everything, the scenery is right there in front. So what happened to the joy? If the joy lies in the objective situation, what has changed? Nothing has changed there. What has changed? It is in your mind. So the joy is always from the mind. So in dhyana, you need to practice the meditation to discover that firsthand. When you forget the world, you get flooded with joy. We don't think. Otherwise, that moment we should think, if we got flooded by joy or bliss when I forgot the world, then why should we expect joy from the world anymore? We know that the joy lies in forgetting the world. So again you forget the world, you will have joy. So dhyana will definitely take us to an experiential way of becoming desireless, or it's a karma phala tyaga, that you will no longer, when you discover that the joy is, the source of joy is within, should I look for joy from outside, from the world? So he stops looking for joy. So whatever you do, you go on doing, not expecting joy from there. You do out of joy, because you are always joyous. Once the desires go, you don't have to get joy from outside. You will become joyous. And from joy, you will do whatever to be done. So the karma phala tyaga will become natural. That is why he said, dhyanat karma phala tyaga. Automatically it will lead you to karma phala tyaga. Tyagat shantiranantaram. You want shanti? So, when the karma phala tyaga takes place, that tyaga will automatically lead you to peace, because you are no longer bothered about anything. What you are gaining, what you are losing, that you have to become happy by this or unhappy by that, nothing will be there. You will be always peaceful. We call it prasada. In other places, Bhagavad Gita said it is prasada. Prasadam adhigacchati. The placidity of the mind. Whether it is a dukkha situation, sukha situation, it doesn't matter. He will have sukha, he will have dukkha, but in both he will have prasada. He will not run away from dukkha, he will not run after sukha. Sukha will come and go, dukkha will come and go. In both, his prasada will always be there. That is why tyagat, karma phala tyagat, shantihi anantaram. You get the peace. Then comes the 33 bhakta lakshanas. We will stop here. So the major points in Krishna's, it is not only chapter 12, these are general as we proceed. No distinction or contradiction between spiritual and non-spiritual activities. This is a common thing all of us should remember. We always segregate, that is why we are never satisfied with our meditation, and most 99.9999% people will say, I don't have time, I have this work, I have that work. Who asked you to not to do the work? Only we are asking you to convert your work into sadhana, not that you leave the work and sit in meditation for. You can, if you can sit, it is good. But otherwise what you have to do is transform all your work into meditation. Meditation in sadhana. So transforming every moment into yoga through buddhi yoga. Here comes Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita we say karma yoga, but he says clearly that I am giving you buddhi yoga. Because how to do the karma is the yoga. For that you have to anchor your buddhi in the real identity, in yoga. That means the buddhi will be anchored into the yoga state, into the real identity. That becomes then the viveka buddhi, which will direct us in every action, every moment to moment. Next. The whole focus is on transforming mind and intelligence, nothing to do with outside. Next. Result or fruition here and now, not after the body falls. This is very important. Bhagavad Gita doesn't talk about after the body falls. Even the definition of jajna in Bhagavad Gita. In Vedas, yajna means you do the havana and all with desire. Suppose you are doing putra kamishti yaga, as Dasharatha did, to have children. Or as Yudhishthira did Ashwamedha yaga. It is always with desiring some fruit. If you don't want the fruit, why should you perform the yaga? Because the yaga in the Vedas is written, if you do this, then this will happen. So only when you want that result, you do it. Otherwise, you don't do it. So, yajna concept in Vedas is fully depending on desire. That out of desire you perform yajna. And in Bhagavad Gita, it is just the opposite. He says, anything you do without desire becomes a yajna. Because when you do it without desire, motivated by desire, it becomes an offering to the Lord, as I explained just now, so many words. When we perform it without desire, it becomes an offering to the Lord. It becomes just like the sun is going, moon is going around the earth is going around the sun, the plants are growing, the flowers are blossoming. Everywhere there is no desire at all. It is all offered to the Lord. Like that we also live, doing whatever our body is capable of, according to nature. That becomes offered to the Lord. Next. Desires make any action worldly. Activities pursued with no desire become divine. The whole life, whole day will become divine if you can do everything free of desires. Next. Worship or contemplation of the imperishable, whatever be the practice, the cultivation of the universal dimension is must. No place for inattention, selfishness, indiscipline. This I had discussed yesterday. He is cautioning that those who are given to the contemplation of the imperishable, taking that as an excuse, there is no excuse for you to become inattentive about the world, not doing anything and not taking care of anything, behaving in a wrong manner, becoming a cause of agitation for others. All these things are not approved by Bhagavad Gita. So that's a very important point there. Okay, I have finished it. Only left is the Bhakta Lakshanas. So next year. There we have to connect each word to the final state. That is, there are 33 words used. I have to explain that how each quality, each of the 33 quality, if you go to that peak of it finally, it makes you Atma only, makes you the knower of Atma. Prabuddham vimuktam vikaradihinam prasannam sada nitya bodhasvarupam param nischalam nirgunam sarvarupam bhajeham sadanusmarami pranomi. Prabuddham vimuktam vikaradihinam prasannam sada nitya bodhasvarupam param nischalam nirgunam sarvarupam bhajeham sadanusmarami pranami.